The richest Americans are sitting on nearly $4 trillion, but only about 10% of multimillionaires are involved in philanthropy. One organization is working to change that, and joining us on the KCBS Ring Central Newsline is Cecilia Conrad, CEO of Lever for Change. And good morning.
Good morning.
So what exactly are you doing to try to help change this, to help try and take philanthropy to a different level?
Well, as you've noted, there is a lot of money sitting on the sidelines. And furthermore, the average grant for a nonprofit is $50,000 over 18 months. Now, just imagine trying to make a real difference on issues like homelessness or hunger with that kind of money. So what we're trying to do is to help donors meet the scale of the need that's out there. We are a broker between funders and nonprofits. We know and understand donors. We've built a vast global network of social problem solvers, and we try to connect the two to facilitate multi-year grants between $10 million and $100 million at a scale much higher than what philanthropy currently does.
Wow.
And we recently reached our first milestone by driving $1 billion to organizations through the 11 challenges that we've run.
So why do you think such a small percentage of these multimillionaires are hesitant initially to make significant donations?
Well, these donors are smart, well-intentioned people who are risk-averse, and most of us are risk-averse. And they're risk-averse for good reason. They want to make sure that they are funding organizations and projects that are most likely to achieve impact. They don't want to feel as if they are wasting their money or could have spent it in a different way and had a bigger impact. So to really open the kind of spigot of funding, we have to really kind of recognize that they are risk-averse and take steps to try and mitigate that.
Is it tough, have you found, especially coming off this pandemic in the last couple of years with the economy? Is it tough bringing donors and some of these nonprofits together right now?
It is. It's not as tough as one might think, partly because I think the pandemic helped to expose the need that's there. And donors have been stepping up to try and respond to the needs created by COVID, to the needs that it uncovered in terms of inequality in society, to the needs of what's happening in terms of climate change in some of the countries in the world that are still emerging in terms of economic growth. So all of those things make donors more interested than maybe they've been in a while in how they can find the right projects. And so what we've tried to do is to create a rigorous process that includes an open call for solutions. We have evaluation criteria that are very clear that we work with the donors to develop. We have used a third-party set of evaluators who are amazing people who want to step in and help as well, many of whom are volunteering their time. Mm-hmm. We get constructive feedback to all the proposals that we get, and then we really give support to a group of finalists so that the donors can feel really confident when they make that first $10 million grant. We then take the best projects and we get them in front of other donors because we've already vetted those. So there's an opportunity for a donor who wasn't involved in our challenge to also take advantage of that, to kind of piggyback and find great projects to fund.
And I like the analogy used of being a broker. But before we let you go, are most of these donors specific about what or who they want to be involved in when they come to you or when you reach out to them?
They are specific about the problem that interests them. But we also encourage them to be open about how you go about addressing that problem and to look at organizations that have deep, inclusive engagement with the communities whom they serve. Those are often left out of the traditional philanthropic processes. And we do that because we recognize that there is expertise that is sometimes unacknowledged. And we want to make sure that donors appreciate the value of that expertise and the value of the kinds of impact these organizations have had. And we have found that donors are really open to that when you present those opportunities to them.
Well, it's a fantastic program, and I'm glad that you were here to talk about it and explain it to us, to Cecilia Conrad, CEO of Lever for Change, joining us on the KCBS Ring Central Newsline. And it is that time, speaking of business and money, that we switch over to the Money Watch right now. Here's Jeff Colvin.